Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates. I'm going to be speaking with you today on the topic, Voraciously Needy People Lack Boundaries. It's basically chapter 10 in my book, Managing Abandonment Issues Through Recovery. I'll start with a quote from Judith Vorst from Red Book from all the way back in 1975. She wrote, "Infatuation is when you think he's as sexy as Robert Redford, as smart as Henry Kissinger, as noble as Ralph Nader, as funny as Woody Allen, and as athletic as Jimmy Connors. Love is when you realize that he's as sexy as Woody Allen, as smart as Jimmy Connors, as funny as Ralph Nader, as athletic as Henry Kissinger, and nothing like Robert Redford. But you'll take him anyway." In my first few months as a therapist, way back in June of 1987, at a downtown Indianapolis agency, I worked with a couple they were just way too broken for my pay grade. My pay grade was very low in June of 1987. I think I made $21,000 that year. And I don't know that I was worth that, just coming out of graduate school. I didn't have a clue about this couple. I'd never seen anything like it before. The wife had some just wickedly intense abandonment issues, and I didn't know what an abandonment issue was. So I was very ill prepared to deal with it. One of the presenting problems was that the wife actually required a sexual connection each and every day, no matter what. Even if the husband was deathly ill, he had to have intercourse with her. And that seemed, at the time, I was a very young husband, had a couple of babies at home. Actually, the babies weren't on the way, but babies were coming soon. And but as a young husband, being required to make love with your wife every single day didn't seem like a bad deal to me at the time. I saw the pain in the man's face, but it seemed I was curious as to what the issue was. I felt like if that were required of me, that I would have thought it was a positive thing. But it actually wasn't a positive thing. The man felt trapped by his wife's very deep insecurities. And I'll never forget the very deep sadness that I saw in his face. He said, "She makes me have sex every day, even if I'm deathly ill with the flu." So to her, the sexual connection wasn't about love, but rather about fear, abandonment, control, and insecurity. To her, it felt like they weren't connected unless they had sex each and every day. She feared that some other woman would steal her man away if she didn't care for his sexual needs each and every day, even if the last thing he wanted or needed was to have sex on that given day. She'd badger him and punish him if he didn't comply. Healthy love gives the object of your affections dignity and personal space. Space is healthy. Everyone needs space to breathe. Abandonment issues seek to trap, to manipulate, to control, to punish, the objects of their sick, needy, desperate love. It's not really loving. Much of romantic love isn't very loving. It's dysfunctional, it's broken, it's being loved in the way that you were loved growing up, not too well. Abandonment issues, as I said, that they take a person over and they push you to be controlling and punishing and manipulative. There are families that punish individuation and reward enmeshment. If you stay in town and you come to visit 3 times a week, you're the good kid. You're the preferred kid. We're going to leave you money. But if you move to California and you only come home for Christmas, you're the bad guy. Why did you leave me? Why did you leave us? Is the unspoken and many times even the spoken message. Abandonment issues are the most painful issue known to mankind, in my opinion. This was an unusual expression of them, but I wish you could have seen the desperation and the sadness in this man's face, because he really did feel unloved and overpowered and beaten down. And many times when somebody is controlled, they allow themselves to be controlled by somebody with abandonment issues, it does destroy self-esteem, and it causes withdrawals to be made from the couple's emotional bank account with each other. So if you have a spouse who has severe jealousy issues and they obsess about your relationship with your secretary or your relationship with a friend, when you're not doing a thing, then they have abandonment issues. If your significant other becomes extremely reactive, if you're 5 minutes late, they've got abandonment issues. So I encourage you, if there is jealousy, control, projection, manipulation around any kind of real or imagined distancing, I encourage you to download my book, Managing Abandonment Issues Through Recovery, and discover what that is about. I had a couple come in this past week where there's some very significant issues around abandonment, but they didn't know what to call it. And it's so big and it's so powerful, it can destroy a marriage that it really doesn't have to destroy. Not knowing about your issues is like walking around in a room with the lights off and you banging up your shins on the furniture and bloodying your shins. When we talk about recovery, we're talking about knowing who you are, knowing where you came from. If you have abandonment issues in your relationship, you were abandoned as a child in some way, shape, or form, and that doesn't mean that your mom or dad moved away when you were little. What it means is they weren't there for you in some significant way. And I would say that's probably the majority of our population. There's at least one parent that wasn't there nearly enough. So abandonment issues are huge. They're destructive. They cause a lot of craziness. They cause what I call a crazy dance, a lot of jealousy, a lot of ugly fighting, nightmarish fighting, actually. So if you as a couple have that kind of conflict, honestly, the best content that I'm aware of for that day-to-day fighting, reactive, jealous, irrational, explosive fighting is my book, Managing Abandonment Issues Through Recovery. You can get the book. I think the price now, I think I'm just charging $10.99 for it now on our website. And for a couple of years, I charged $14.95. So you can get it for a real good deal. FamilyTreeCounseling.com. And that'll take you to a place called ClickBank where you pay for it. You bounce back to our website, download it. You can have it downloaded in 5 minutes from the time you come to our website until the time you download it. And the cool thing about the book is there are links. If you download it and then stay online after you download it, not so much save it to your computer. You should save it to your computer, but you can also, after you do that, stay online, and the links are live. So I've got 60-something links in it where you hit a link and it'll take you to a video, and then you link from the video will take you right back to the same point you were in the book. So it's a real fresh multimedia approach. It'll take you to book reviews, to movie scenes, to YouTube videos, to blogs. So you can hear a lot of different voices in discovering abandonment issue material. So if you haven't joined our YouTube channel, please do that, Family Tree Counseling on YouTube. And like I said, visit our website. We not only have the book on abandonment, but there's one on shame. There's a book on affair recovery that's very good. There's a book on counterdependency, one on marital issues, and one on general recovery issues. So thank you for watching the video today and hearing about my 1987 couple. And God bless you.